Hello everybody, welcome back to Hollywood Sports. Guys, I want to give you my input, my reaction, my thoughts about the Washington Redskins, my Washington Redskins, looking at a potential trade and going after Case Keenum of the Denver Broncos. And I'm just baffled, man. I'm really baffled about the decisions again, like I said in my last video, the decisions about the Washington Redskins, how they make decisions in that organization. And by the way, guys, forgive me, if you're new to the channel, I am Hollywood Sports. Welcome to the channel. Hopefully I'll earn the right and your respect to hit that subscribe button. And Team Hollywood, welcome back to another video. But one thing I want to know, guys, my first question is why? Why won't the Redskins go to the draft for a quarterback? Why won't they do that? If they're trying to go cheap, but they want experience at the same time, they gotta go to the draft, guys. We gotta start thinking long term. Stop thinking short term. Why won't the Washington Redskins go get a solidified quarterback in the draft? I'm not trying to say they have to go first round, a guy that can start right out of the gate. No. We still have Alex Smith. He's going to eventually come back. We still got Colt McCoy. We got Josh Johnson. And we have quarterbacks, guys. We're not saying they're the best, but they got to think long term and go to the draft. Why won't they do that and go to the draft? Find a guy that they can groom. Maybe they can find a guy in the third round. There's a lot of good quarterbacks in the draft that we haven't seen or heard of, guys. They probably wasn't even invited to the combine. They just need some good scouting people to go find a long-term quarterback, right? But they won't do that. They keep making these short-term decisions. You know, and I'm thinking, is it because they had a bad experience with drafting RG3 and Kirk Cousins back in 2012? You know, RG3 was supposedly going to be the franchise quarterback back in 2012, drafted in the first round. They also drafted Kirk Cousins in the fourth round. You know, Kirk Cousins is not that bad, guys. So Washington can go out in the draft and find a decent quarterback, a franchise quarterback for the future, but they won't do it. So is it because of their bad experience with RG3 and Kirk Cousins? You know, drafting two quarterbacks back in 2012 was another, to me, a dumb decision. You never draft two quarterbacks in the same draft. Why did they do that? Did they even say, or do we really understand why they drafted two quarterbacks like that? It's because they didn't have faith in RG3, so they thought Kirk Cousins would come in? Or maybe they thought Kirk Cousins could be just a good backup? I don't know what they were thinking, guys, but to me that was another bad decision. So maybe they're hesitating to go into the draft. They're trying to find some experience, free agent experience, but they're not thinking long term. They're thinking short term. My Redskins have been making poor player personnel decisions for years now, and they're getting ready to make another huge one, guys. They're getting ready to make another huge one. Trading for a Denver Broncos Case Keenum would be another big bad decision. Okay. The guy's 31 years old. You know, why? Because he played good at Minnesota? Is that why they're doing it? Because he played good at Minnesota, but he didn't play good for the Broncos? You know, they say Case Keenum played good, but they said Case Keenum is a cheap option. Is another reason why they could be doing it. You know, they're going to pay him $3.5 million if he comes to Washington. That's what I heard. Okay? And he's going to, all Washington has to do is give up a 2020 7th round pick or something like that and pay him $3.5 million. Okay? That is a cheap option. But it's a short-term thinking. It's a short-term thinking option. Once again, we got to think long-term. Right now, Colt McCoy is good enough to start. He's not great. He's not spectacular, but he can run the offense. Then you would have Josh Johnson. I like him. He's mobile. He's smart. He just got to get into the system. I like his talent. And then go get a rookie in the draft and let him be the third quarterback until Alex Smith comes back. Then they can make decisions on what they want to do after that. Because Alex Smith, he might not never come back. He might not be totally healthy again. Okay? So I'm just saying, guys, they need to start thinking long term on this thing. Okay? This football team has not made a long-term decision, and I don't know when. Okay? They've been drafting good in the last 2 years, so I don't know why they just won't continue to do that and go get them a good quarterback. Okay? My Redskins are also looking at Andy Dalton, guys. Andy Dalton from the Bengals, the Cincinnati Bengals. See, they're trying to get experience to this quarterback position. Okay? That's what they're trying to do. So that way they can come in and compete with Colt McCoy. Okay? They're talking about Andy Dalton because they say Andy Dalton, his best success is when Jay Gruden back in 2012 was his offensive coordinator. Jay Gruden was the offensive coordinator for the Cincinnati Bengals back in 2012, guys, before he came to the Redskins. Okay? So that's another thought process they're going through. They're trying to find a veteran. I understand they're trying to find a veteran, and they're trying to do it a cheap way. But they gotta think long term. That's short term thinking once again. Okay? Now, if the Redskins get Case Keenum, I hope it's not a long term deal. I hope it's maybe one, if anything, 2-year deal, just to bring him in to fill a hole, Like they said, they want to bring him in for experience, okay? Do it the cheap way, okay? That's okay. But they eventually gotta go to the draft for a quarterback, guys. All their quarterbacks are in their 30s, all of them. I'm not really sure about Josh Johnson, but I know Colt McCoy's in his 30s, and then you got Case Keenum coming in his 30s, okay? They gotta start thinking long term right now, okay? I just hope it's not a long-term deal with Case Keenum. What would it? Because I think this deal is going to go down. I think it's going to go down. There's no reason why it wouldn't go down unless somebody backs out at the last minute or they get a better offer for Case Keenum from another team. Okay? Now, the Redskins will pay him $3.5 million. Not bad, okay? Well, people keep saying how good he played in Minnesota, but you got to understand Case Keenum is a system quarterback. Now, Minnesota made a bad decision letting him go to get Kirk Cousins. I think it was just a name recognition thing. Kirk Cousins has people see him as a better future potential great quarterback. I understand. He has more recognition than Case Keenum, so the Minnesota Vikings thought that would be a better move grabbing Kirk Cousins, but that was a dumb move by Minnesota. Case Keenum didn't have the name recognition or the star power, but he fit that offense. Case Keenum fit that Minnesota offense. It would have been even better last season. Okay, now Kirk Cousins did okay, but Case Keenum did a whole lot better in that offense. That was another bad decision by Minnesota. People keep making these short-term decisions, guys. These are supposed to be professionals, and they're making decisions like this. I would have kept Case Keenum in Minnesota because he fit that system, and players, the chemistry was there with Case Keenum. Let's put it that way. The chemistry was there. The chemistry was not really totally there with Kirk Cousins running that offense in Minnesota. So that was another bad mistake, man. People keep making all these bad moves, and I know it's just my opinion. It's just my opinion, but Case Keenum ran Minnesota better than Kirk Cousins, okay? Now, because Case Keenum is truly a system quarterback, and it was proven when he went to the Denver Broncos. Case Keenum did not play well for the Denver Broncos, and that's just the way it is, guys. Let's see. What else it is there, man? Now, if Washington gets Case Keenum, it would be him competing with Colt McCoy. That's the way I see it. He's going to compete with Colt McCoy, okay? He's got to learn the offense real quick during training camp and compete with Colt McCoy. And then hopefully Josh Johnson would be the third quarterback in the system. All right, guys, I just want to give you my input on this trade. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. They need to go to the draft. Again, they're making a short-term decision. I wish I was in that meeting room. with all those guys trying to come up with the reasons or how they're going to do this for a quarterback this year. But I wish I was in that meeting room. I'd tell him I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. I understand he's cheap. I understand it's going to be short term. It better be short term, okay? But you guys got to go to the draft and get your quarterback, all right? All right, guys, that's my take on this trade that the Washington Redskins, I think, is going to go down, guys. Case Keenum from the Denver Broncos, and all the Washington Redskins have to do is give up a 2020 draft, 7th round draft pick, and pay him $3.5 million. At least that's what it looks like right now. So hopefully it's just for a year or two, but they got to eventually go get them a quarterback. I hope that's in their plans. Again, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I just wanted to give you my take on this whole thing. I am a Washington Redskins fan, if you didn't know. All right? And hopefully if I've earned the right and the respect for you, hit that subscribe button. Join the team of Hollywood Sports, and let's do this thing, man. This is what we do around here, baby. We talk football. And as always, hopefully, I will see everybody on my next video. Thanks for watching.